My boyfriend ridiculed me in front of his friends for having emergency diarrhea at his apartment, so I returned the favor and walked out. I'd been dating this guy since the middle of October. Things were going well between us. I thought lol, we both love the gym and being outdoors, are in the same major in school, had natural chemistry, good sex life. Obviously it was a young relationship, but I was genuinely happy and was starting to think a little more long term, like what we would do once he graduates and gets a job, etc. But recently my feelings for him took a complete 180, and I ended up breaking up. The incident happened about a week before Christmas. We spent a whole day together watching a movie, checking out Christmas events at the mall, then having dinner at a nice restaurant. That was going to be our Christmas, since we would both be spending actual Christmas with our families. The day itself was great. After dinner, we went back to his apartment because we both wanted to get laid. We were cuddling on the couch when my stomach started hurting so much that I ended up sprinting to the bathroom because, yeah, it was that kind of stomach ache. We'd only been dating a few months, and I wasn't comfortable enough to let him hear me having diarrhea, but he lives in a studio apartment, so I started panicking and blasting music on my phone. I thought that would drown out the noises, but yeah, the diarrhea was worse than I thought. At one point I hear him start laughing uncontrollably, and that makes me super fucking embarrassed. After I cleaned myself up and came out I expected an apology or at least to ask me if I'm okay, but instead he says wow, I've never heard a girl poop like that, and proceeds to start laughing like an idiot again. I told him I was embarrassed and to stop, and his response was, but does it smell though? And then for the next 5 minutes I had to literally fight him not to go into the bathroom. Needless to say I was pretty pissed, and I would have gone home at that point but it was supposed to be our Christmas, so whatever. I suggested we open our presents, mainly so I could forget about what an ass he'd been. After we opened our presents and relaxed a little, he started kissing me and feeling me up but I wasn't in the mood after how he acted so I told him I was tired and didn't feel well. Then he said oh yeah, probably not a good idea and made a huge farting noise with his mouth. At that point, I just got up and left. While I was waiting outside for my Uber, he brought me my present and apologized to me, and stayed with me until the ride came, so that placated me for the time being. We didn't see each other for around 1 week, so his childish outbursts before Christmas were kind of in the back of my mind, and I was just looking forward to New Year's, when he'd invited me to spend time with him and his friends. We were going to meet at this rooftop bar on New Year's Eve, and since I hadn't met most of the people there yet, I was eager to make a good impression. Obviously you can tell where this is going. Long story short, boyfriend told everyone there, a total of 15 of his friends, about how I'd been SH'ing my ass off and how it was hilarious how I was even trying to play music but that it didn't matter because there was a fucking poop storm. He didn't even finish the story before I walked the fuck away from him and his friends. He caught me at the elevator and asked me what I was doing, and I told him leaving. He told me I took myself too seriously and to just come back, nobody cares, and I told him that we were finished. He was confused, I made it clear. He got pissed off, told me see what happens if you embarrass me in front of my friends, but I couldn't care less and ignored him. That pissed me off even more. 1. Because it was threatened. 2. Because it was okay for him to embarrass me in front of them. Why couldn't I return the favor? I felt so embarrassed to even know that he heard me pooping at all, and I felt so disrespected and humiliated that he chose to not only ridicule me for it, but to use the situation to be funny in front of his friends who were meeting me for the first time. He knew I didn't like him making fun of me when it was just us alone, so why would it then be okay to tell a group of 15 of his friends whom I would conceivably have been trying to build relationships with? From the day after New Year's until now, he's been blowing up my phone and FB Messenger apologizing, begging me to come back, saying that it was just a joke. He didn't know I would take it so seriously, that I'm overreacting and being too sensitive, that I'm throwing away the relationship over a joke. He even sent flowers to my parents' house instead of my apartment, for whatever reason. I don't know. There were no red flags in our relationship until that happened, but I feel like his immature, jackass side would have come out eventually and that's just not something I want to deal with. There's nothing except some disposable toothbrushes and some makeup remover at his place, nothing I care about getting back, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I made the right choice and other times I feel like maybe he's right and I should give him another chance. Am I being overly sensitive and overreacting by breaking up with him? Does he deserve a second chance? Or is he as big of an a-hole as I thought on New Year?